All right, everybody, so here's my attempt at being helpful. Fun factoid, back in my college days, I was actually a lab instructor for a physical geography class. So as I'm in this position of trying to teach my kids during quarantine mode here, I decided to try to find some of my old presentations, and I was lucky enough to find them. So we're going to start out just giving a quick little lesson today, and maybe you'll find it useful. We'll see how it goes. We'll start talking about understanding latitude and longitude. Everybody knows, or everybody's heard about latitude and longitude just because of coordinates. Talk a little bit more about it. What does it actually mean? When we're talking about latitude, we're talking about the distance north or south of the equator. So when you look at the Earth, you see all these straight lines going across. They're lines of latitude. They're called parallels, north and south of the equator. So it starts at 0 here at the equator, and as you move to the north or the south pole, you're hitting 90 degrees. Longitude moves the other way. That's going from the north pole to the south pole, the line straight up and down. That's the line of longitude, and you can move east or west of that. And longitude east of it, when you see coordinates, usually has a plus sign. When you move west of it, has a minus sign. So again, 0 degrees runs right through England, Greenwich, England. That's the 0 degree mark. That's the prime meridian. And you go as far as 180 degrees east or west. And again, they're known as meridians. Those are not parallel lines. So latitude and longitude, when you put those numbers together, you get coordinates. When we're looking at latitude and longitude together, it also makes this big grid that's known as the graticule. So when we're talking about coordinates, for example, we're here in Harford County, Maryland. We're at about 39.5 degrees north of the equator and about 76 degrees west of that prime meridian. So sometimes you'll see minus signs here, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll just see it referred to as east or west. And it's just different ways it's shown. And time relates directly to where you are on Earth too, right? So each place on Earth has its own exact time. It's called local sun time. Local noon, wherever you are, is all about when sun is directly overhead of your exact position, okay? So even though it might be noon in Maryland, in different parts of Maryland you have different local sun times because the sun, or we're rotating, the Earth's rotating in relation to the sun. So Western Maryland gets their local sun time after we do here in Harford County because of the rotation. Now, across the Earth, how many hours do we have in a day?
24.
24 hours in a day. So there's actually 24 standard time zones that as you move from one time zone to another time zone, it's an hour difference. So here in Maryland, it might be, let's just say about 1 o'clock now. When we head further west, it actually gets earlier by an hour. Each time zone you hop, going across the US from east to west, it gets 1 hour earlier. Now if you were to ever to go the other way, remember I said prime meridian, the line goes 0 degree of longitude, that's a 5-hour difference. So if it's 1 o'clock here, it's already 6 p.m. over there. And then there's also something important. Well, here's a little image here showing the different time zones. Let me get ahead though. To go along with time, out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean is something called the international date line. So there's actually a point where on one side of that date line, it is Friday at 1 o'clock. If you hop across that date line, it's already Saturday. That happens in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, okay? That's the international date line. Now back to the time zones quickly. Like I said, there's 24 hours in a day, there's 24 time zones across the Earth. And you know the Earth is rotating. So 360 degrees makes a circle, right? So if you're looking at Earth 360 degrees around, divided by 24 hours in a day, the Earth is actually spinning 15 degrees in an hour. Okay? So a time zone, there's 24 of those, a time zone is approximately 15 degrees wide. 15 degrees of the Earth's spin represents a time zone. That's the important thing. So, quickly, one more thing to wrap it up. Like I said, different parts of the Earth, it's different times. And in theory, the opposite side of the world right now is 12 hours different from us. So where's the opposite side of the world for Harford County, Maryland? What do you think? Everybody says China, right?
Yeah.
It's not China. You want to see? I looked it up. The exact opposite point in the world from where we are right now is actually here. In the middle of, I guess that's the Indian Ocean. It's west of, what continent is this?
Australia.
That's Australia there. And we're east of Africa. It's here. So, look at that. In the middle of the ocean. That's the opposite side of the world. All right? So what time would it be there? 12 hours difference. They're actually ahead of us. So if it's 1:30 here, p.m., on Friday,
It's 1:30 at night and Saturday.
it's Saturday over there. All right? So that's this quick little first lesson about latitude and longitude and how it ties into time. And that's it for now. Maybe we'll do some more lessons in the future.